Speaking of the Cleveland area, heard some shouting last night. Was in the city for a little bit, and some people were getting really, really excited for an event that I did not even realize was happening at the top before the whole shebang came to be, the Major League Baseball Draft Lottery. I was not aware of this. I was aware of this becoming a thing a year or so ago. I was not aware of it being tonight or Tuesday night, but I was happy to see it Tuesday night and to see what happened. I guarantee you there was a spirit named Nicholas Gilbert floating around Nashville, because how the Guardians got the number one overall pick in next year's draft, how they've never had a first number one pick to begin with ever in their franchise history, is insane. But when you saw Brad Paisley make that turn over the card, it was like, whoa, we just got like our basically free get out of jail free card. We can do whatever we want in this next year's draft over in Texas. And I'm like, I'm like surprised. It's like a Christmas present you weren't expecting. It's like you don't know what to do with yourself. And I don't know what if the Guardians know what to do with themselves now, because they have so many options to go through with the next year's crop of prospects. I mean, what did you make of when I sent you the thing that we were going to get the number one pick?
It's cool. I, like you, did not know that we've never had the number one pick in franchise history.
Mm.
We have a 2% chance getting it. And then what are the odds that we get the number one pick and the Cincinnati Reds get the number two pick? I thought it was pretty wild. Both Ohio teams taking the top two spots.
Isn't it crazy, by the way, the worst three records didn't finish higher than third? Rockies, A's, and who was the last one? Who was the last one here? Standings: Rockies, A's, Royals.
Yeah. Royals. I mean, honestly, just like a typical Tribe/Gardens fan, I replied to you how I told everybody last night. This is going to be awesome. We're going to get a stud, and then we're going to trade him in 7 years for a bunch of prospects because we're not going to be able to afford him. I mean, it's rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Until we get a new owner in here that's willing to spend money, it's what's going to happen. And it's going to happen once we take
How do you know that?
Nick Kurtz.
How do you know that?
How do I know what?
How do you know that they're just going to trade this number one prospect for a whole bunch of smaller prospects in the future?
Because what does the track record say?
The track record
says exactly.
The track record says we do a good job at recruiting players and eventually bringing them up to the major leagues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, he'll be in our organization for 7 years, and he'll get traded when his contract's up because we can't afford him. Because Nick Kurtz is going to be one of the next best first basemen in all of baseball. And that is who I would look at right now for the number one pick, first baseman from Wake Forest. He absolutely rakes. He was a highly touted recruiter or player out of high school that went to Wake Forest and immediately performed. Last year, Mitch, he hit 359 with a 525 on base percentage with 22 home runs and 62 walks in just 55 games. He is highly, highly touted. The Guardians need a power bat. There is belief he could eventually move to the corner outfield spot, but I mean, it's going to be one of the three. It's going to either probably be a corner guy in the infield, outfielder, middle infielder, or pitcher. And I'm excited to see who it is. Nick Kurtz right now is the number one guy for me. Now you got to wait because a lot of things happen in college baseball and high school baseball. Does it matter to you whether the Guardians take a college player or a high school player?
Not really. If he's depends on if he's ready or not. I mean, to spend some time in the minor leagues and eventually work his way up. No, it helps. College helps because you're playing against elevated competition. And two of the players that I saw on someone's listing last night said that this could be where the Guardians go. They're going to go someone who's left-handed. They're going to go someone who's playing around the first base or outfield area, probably. You mentioned Kurtz. He's a great player at Wake Forest. Golden Spikes Award semifinalist, first team All ACC, second team All American last year. It could also go to Jack Caglianone for Florida, who is a very similar skill set. Guy who can hit for power, guy who throws hard, guy who can also throw 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and has been almost clocked to 100. And then you also have PJ Morlando, who's from Somerville, South Carolina high school. That's probably more of a project if he's only 18 years old and you're trying to work his way up from single A all the way up. But I don't know. There's just some options that you have. You probably shouldn't focus on pitching. I know that we're trying to sell one of our pitchers, ironically, but I think you have enough there that you can last for some time. It's more so getting some power in this lineup, trying to develop left-handed batting specifically to offset the likes of like Josh Naylor and them in the lineup. Maybe allow Naylor to go to designated hitter and focus on that full time. Could be interesting. I'm excited to see where this could lead to, and I'm keeping out hope that it isn't just keep him in the minor leagues for a long time and then eventually sell him for a big basket of prospects.
The, one of their top MLB insiders, Kylie McDaniel, has the Guardians taking a middle infielder. Please, for the love of God, can we not? Can we just not? I mean, how many more guys we have down the lines? Oh, let's see. He had 42 extra base hits and 36 stolen bases. He's listed at 5'10", 190 pounds. Power is more than good. Is more good than great.
Okay.
He knows how to get to it in games. They're projecting maybe a 15 to 20 home run guy. He's listed as the second baseman from West Virginia. I do believe he plays shortstop.
We have a guy like that.
That's what I mean. Like, we have so many middle infield prospects. This is, you have the number one pick. You control how the draft goes. You control how you want to do this. Don't go if they think this kid is the best player available, all these insiders, but the Guardians need Hurts, then you take your guy at one. That's the luxury of having the number one pick. You don't have to hope somebody falls to you. You go get your guy. We just don't need any more middle infield prospects. I mean, how many more do we need? I feel like if there's one logjam in Cleveland right now in our organization, from top to bottom, all the way to low A, it's that we have really good middle infield prospects. Now, are they going to perform when they get up here? That's a different question and a different story and debate we can have later down the road. Go get what we've been lacking for the past since 2017. That 2017 team, to me, Mitch, that ultimately didn't get it done, was the most complete team, top to bottom, 1 through 9, that we've probably had since the 90s, with the likes of those superstars we had. We need to get back to that. We need somebody to protect Jose in the lineup. We need somebody to protect Naylor, maybe Luzardo. I mean, that's the other thing, Mitch. The draft is not until mid-summer. Are we going to see the first baseman we traded Savali for up here? And if he plays well, does this alter the Guardians' thinking of how they're going to go about the draft? Maybe.